Hey guys, it's Caroline, career coach and a mentor. And I wanted to quickly make a video or do a live stream with you guys, because yesterday I was talking with one of my clients and I thought you might be interested in seeing what her issue is and actually understanding the problem on how to solve it. And so the issue is that she's looking for a new job outside the industry that she was working in, and she's struggling to get any traction. So it might sound familiar. So you send off your resume, you work in a certain, or you worked in a certain industry, you get an interview, and then in the interview you perform really your best, and then at the end of it, like you don't get a second interview or you get rejected, and they give you the feedback that we chose a candidate with more industry experience and or relevant industry experience. And to be honest, it is frustrating because, like, first of all, they knew you didn't have that relevant industry experience before they invited you for the interview. So like, it looks like a big waste of time. And so she came to me, and before we started working together, she outlined what her career objectives were and what she wanted to achieve. So when we worked back, there were a couple of strategies that we implemented with her or for her. And I wanted to share that with you because I think that is so vital. And most people don't even know those things, and those things make all the difference. So first of all, recruiters may not be your best friend in this case. And I will tell you why. Recruiters are paid by the company. And so they often work on behalf of their client, in their client's best interest. They want to make sure they find the best candidate for the position that is on offer. So if they receive 50, 100, sometimes up to 1,000 resumes, depending what seniority or role you go for and what skills and experience are required. But if they receive a lot of candidates, and then they have candidates that worked in a certain industry, or then the candidates that didn't work in a certain industry, the choice is often easy made by a recruiter. And ideally you say, like, look, they should call everybody. And yes, they should, maybe not. But the reality is they don't have the time. So you have to understand the avenue of the job market that's best suited to get you the best results. So if you look at recruiters and external recruiters, they might not be able to help you in this case, because you are too far removed. Because here is the thing also. So a recruiter takes a cut of the percentage of your annual salary. And on average, the recruitment agencies I worked in, they would take 20% cut on your salary. So the fee would be anything from $15,000 to $35,000. And so that would mean that if a company wants to pay that amount of money, then you better find a candidate that really closely fits the bill, that what they're looking for, because otherwise they go to any job board, they whack up an advert, and they get the candidates in. So they come to recruiters, to headhunters, to executive recruiters for specialist consultation, for candidates that almost match perfectly what they're looking for. So that's the first thing that you have to understand, that recruiters might not be the best bet for you to get into a new industry. There are always exceptions. So don't say, like, Caroline, I know one case that happened. It's like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about really in general. Then the second thing is people don't create a narrative. Now, the clients that I work with through the Career Success Program, which is my signature program, they have over 15 years experience. They have a lot of experience. And so when they go to an interview, or even how they articulate themselves in their resume or LinkedIn profile, doesn't matter. So that's all the way, the ways, the channels you use to present yourself. They basically tell what their skills and experience is and what they can do for an organization, but they don't have a narrative. They don't talk about the problem they can solve for the organization. They just have a list of things that they can do and that they have done, and the companies they have worked at, and maybe the achievements, but they don't have that core positioning message, that pitch, an elevator pitch. You can call it how you want it. It's that your unique value proposition, basically, that they don't have together. And that is so critical for you to be able to articulate to a company what you can do for them, but what that means, on how you can solve that specific problem that they're looking to solve, how you can help them achieve that, how you can close that gap. And what's important when you look at companies outside your industry, that you really tell that story, that you take them on that journey, so that you make the link between what you have done, how that is relevant for them. Because otherwise it's just information. Because like I said in the beginning, they knew that you didn't have the skills and experience, or the industry experience required based on just your resume. They knew that, but still they invited you for an interview. So there was something that they saw that would actually like make them interested to have a chat with you. But during the interview, you didn't extend that journey. You didn't really make that clear to them what that was, what that message could be for them, and how that could, how you could basically help them, and how your experience was transferable and relevant for their experience. And a brilliant example I can give you is like years ago, I worked with a girl that was within FMCG. So FMCG, very different than the interview that she was going for, that was in finance. And she went to the interview. Now, I knew the client very good, and I knew the capabilities of the candidates really good. And I said to them, like, you have to meet her. And they said, like, Caroline, we trust you. Okay, let's meet her. And so in the interview, she gave really positive example, or great examples. She told her achievements, but she used the jargon and the language based on what she did in FMCG without making that connection to what that would mean for them and who are in finance. And because the people that were interviewing her didn't really have that understanding, there was like really a disconnect, and they didn't really get it. So at the end of the interview, they called me back and said, like, Caroline, like, we really liked her. We can see the potential, but we couldn't really get an understanding. Now, because I really had a good relationship with my client, I said, like, okay, like, trust me on this one. See you for a second interview. And we did like really in-depth interview training. And we looked at the examples, and we looked on how we could connect them. So when she went for that interview, she nailed it, because she could take them on the journey, and suddenly they understood what she was talking about. They understood where she was coming from. So it is so important that you have your pitch ready, that you know your narrative. And when you go outside your industry to an industry that has no idea what you are capable of, what you have done before, and what your previous role really entailed, they will get it. So you have to make that connection. And because you make that connection, they will understand where you're coming from. So that's the second part. And the third part is that I told you in the beginning of this live stream that recruiters are probably not the most helpful for you in this particular situation. So you have to create and rely on your network. Now, if you don't have a network, then the best day to start building one is today, because it is so important for the rest of your career progression. If you have another 10, 15, 20 years left of your career, then you'd better basically start developing a network of advocates, of people that you know that can refer you time and time and time again for jobs. Because otherwise you're going to get stuck in a situation like after, oh yes, I'm looking for a new job. Yes, I've got that new one. And you're going to have to start each time from scratch again. So you have to create your network, the people of people that will advocate for you, that can actually vouch for you. So the way you do that, and it doesn't mean that you have to go to networking events, and it doesn't mean that you have to brown nose or anything like that. It means that you just have to make meaningful connections with people, and that can be offline or online. And there's a whole strategy to really bring that to life. But you have to, and it's also depending on which industry you're in and your personality, and so many factors that you need to incorporate in that. But that is a second part that's so important for you to really flesh out and get an understanding of, okay, what I have to do first is understanding that in my job market, if I want to change jobs to another industry, completely different, and I don't want to be pigeonholed by recruiters, I have to understand that recruiters might not be the best way forward for me at this stage. Then secondly, I have to start building that narrative and create that story, that pitch, and then be able to link all my skills and experience to the position that I'm going for, so that it becomes super relevant to them and that they can understand what I'm saying. And then thirdly, I have to start creating a network. And if I have a dormant network, then you have to know how to reactivate that network and how to make meaningful connections with people. A lot of my clients say, I'm so great in stakeholder management, and I do that by building relationships and blah, blah, blah. But when it comes down to basically creating a network for their career, they're often like, ooh, how do I do that? It's just the same. And you have the skills and experience to do that. You just have to take the first step and take action. Now, couple of things that I want you to do. First of all, if we are not connected yet, connect with me, because it is so vital in the world of technology, in the world of the online world, that we are connected. And as soon as I upload a new video or I become live, you actually get a notification from me. And so you can hop on my live streams. Secondly, if you want to take it one step further, I would say I will pop the link here below on the screen. I have a free training for anyone who's interested in learning a simple strategy to stand out, get more interviews, and land that next six-figure leadership role. Because if you are looking to step up in your career, and I mean the people that I work with are all of that six-figure level, it becomes really competitive. And you have to be very crystal clear, and you have to realize that what got you to your new position is not necessarily getting you to the next level. So you need to develop a new strategy. You need to have a different approach. So if you are interested to really honing in on that and finding out how you can do that, I would say go and watch my training. It's called The 5 Simple Steps to Stand Out, Get More Interviews, and Land Your Next Six-Figure Leadership Role. Now, if you're really like, Caroline, you are the person. I have been following you and watching your videos for ages, and I believe you're the person that can help me. What I want you to do is schedule a call in to talk. So you go to newhorizoncoaching.com.au/call and schedule a time in that we can talk. Now, on the call, it's going to be very, very simple. It's not going to be is one of the typical sales calls where I go ba 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 ba. No. This is like a very simple conversation about me getting to understand you. It's 45 minutes. So it's a 45 minutes investment of your time. And it's basically for me to get an understanding where you're coming from, what you want to achieve, what's holding you back in your career to date. And then we zoom out and we look at where you want to be and what's holding you back, the roadblocks in between. And we create a big picture strategy on what that would look like, what those steps would be to actually get to that next level. Whether that is a promotion, whether that is like moving outside the role that you're in, or whether you're unemployed and actually saying like, look, I'm looking to get back in the job market, but I'm struggling to get the right traction. So definitely something I can help you with. And I work with people all over the world. Most of them, like I said, they have over 15 years experience, or all of them, they have over 15 years experience. They live, like I have clients in the US, in Europe, in Singapore, of course, in Australia, New Zealand. So it doesn't matter where you are based. The principles that I work on with my clients, the strategies that we develop together, are working no matter where you are based, because it's really universal principles that we build upon. So that's it for me today. So I hope this helped, and I hope this gave you a little bit of clarity. If it did, give me thumbs up, because that way I know you really, it resonated with you. The message that I shared today resonated with you. If you know anyone that needs to hear this, and we all do, come on, share this video with your network and make sure those people hear it. And for me, it helps me immense, because the more people I can reach with my message, the better, of course, for me, because I like to help people move in their career to the next level. So that's it for me. Thank you so much. And I will see you